Good morning, everybody. Hey, it's a beautiful day. It's nice and cool out here this morning. It's early. It's just a beautiful day. I hope you guys are ready for the day. Good morning. I hope you guys are ready for the day. I hope that you guys are prepared for battle. I hope that you have that Ephesians 6:10 through 18 covering your everyday life. But let's chase this rainbow. Y'all know I like to chase rainbows. Today, the rainbow we're going to chase is rotting fruit. All right. So have you ever been to the grocery store? Yes. And you went to buy your fruit. And I picked through my fruit, literally. So I hope y'all wash y'all fruit when y'all get it home. But I will look through everything, and if there's one piece of fruit that's rotting, I won't get it. Why won't I get it? Because it's rotting fruit. Like, who wants to eat that? So I pick through to make sure I get a bushel, a bundle, a package, whatever of all fresh fruit. I'll take it home. I'll pull it out of the pack, clean it real good, and then I'll store it wherever I store it. Here's the thing about fruit. One of my favorite parts about fruit is it's really healthy. It's really good for you. Too much is never good of anything. And but it's tasty. It's so sweet and so savory. Like, I love fruit. But here's the thing. Have you ever took one piece of rotted fruit out and set it next to a piece of healthy fruit? Let me tell you what happens. The rotted fruit doesn't get healthy. The healthy fruit starts to rot. With that being said, I'm going to say, because I've told you guys this multiple times, be careful of who you let in your circle. That doesn't mean you have to keep people out of your life. Some people are meant for you in this small circle, and some people are meant to be attached to you but not being able to touch you. So let's dive into it and chase this rainbow. There are many times where people who are mentally healthy, mentally strong, physically healthy, spiritually healthy, emotionally healthy, run into people who are not. And some people actually really need your help. Those that are strong enough to handle it, some people actually need your help. But you still got to be mindful, because just as influential as they are on you, as you are on them, they are on you. So if you are strong, which is that healthy piece of fruit.
1 mile completed. Duration 18 minutes 33 seconds. Current pace 17 minutes 48 seconds per mile. Average pace 18 minutes 31 seconds per mile.
So
total time 1 hour 14 minutes 7 seconds.
Have you ever gotten into a situation of your life where you know there's somebody who was not as mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually stable as you are? You've encountered them, and instead of you just pouring into them and keep going, you spend time of your life with them. Sometimes that can be detrimental to who you are. There are a lot of people out there who are just as mentally unstable as you are strong. There are some people out there that is just as physically unstable as you are strong. So there is a balance. But as much as you give to them and as much as you pour into them, they will also do the same thing to you. And that rotted fruit will rot your fruit. Sometimes you got to be able to step back and assess the situation. You can feel when somebody is draining your energy. You can feel when somebody is taking their negative and it's more powerful than your positive. And here's the thing. That doesn't mean that you're not strong. That just means that they've been doing it a lot longer. See, the thing with being a strong person or a healed person or a person who is stable in all of those places, the thing about them are you have to grow to that point. There is nobody in this world who is born healed. Because if that was the case, life wouldn't give you what it gave you. Everybody got to go through some stuff. Everybody has to get to a point where they have to heal who they are. But I'm telling you, one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. So stop thinking that because everybody in your circle is strong and this one is not, this one gonna take your circle down. Could. Not will, but could. This one could take your circle down. Why? Because just as strong as you are, they are. You're just strong in different areas. If you think about a magnet has a positive and a negative. When you try to put the two positives or the two negatives together, what happened? That you can't. They fight. They go back and forth. You can never put them together. You can force them together, but they won't stay. So be mindful of the magnetic energy that you pull around you. Because here's the thing. When you get to a point in your life where you're ready to move forward, you're going to be stuck. Why? Because you allowed this rotted fruit to sit inside of your circle for way too long. So when you get to a point in your life where you start to understand and you start to realize that everybody is not for you, do some cutting. Everybody, every person in this entire world has their umbilical cord cut once in their life. It won't hurt to do it a second time. You are not always made to nurture everybody. You are made, oh y'all, I'm tired this morning. I only missed one day and I feel like I ain't walked in 2 days. A week, 7 years. I'm ready to woe out. But anyway, you cannot think for one moment that your positivity can outshine everything. It can't. Some people live inside of this negative space. And if you're new to the healed game, that negative space can suck you back in. It's a vortex. They believe it. There is nothing you can tell a person that they believe that will waver their thinking. Do you know what changes what people believe? Them. It don't matter what you say. Now, what you say could resonate with them and make them think about it, but that doesn't mean that they're going to change those aspects of their life. So what I'm going to tell you this morning is, while we're chasing this rainbow, is beware of the rotting fruit. Beware of the fruit that's inside of your fresh fruit. You got to go through it. And every now and again, you got to comb through the people that's in your life. Why do you need to comb through the people that's in your life? Because here's the thing. If you don't, that rotting fruit is going to sit there. And the longer it sits there, the more rot your circle becomes. Are you really going to allow rotting fruit to kill the healthiness of the rest of it? You can't. You can. That's your choice. You definitely can. But my thing is, why? Why? You have the power to change that. Take away the benefit of you for everybody else, and you will know who really rock with you. Subtract the things that you do for everybody else, and you will know who really rock with you. Subtract those things that you gift people, and you'll know who really rock with you. You hear me? Even if that fruit looks like it's transforming into healthy fruit, I promise you, as soon as that fruit transforms, it's already given somebody else the rot. So you're going to be doing this and doing this and doing this for the rest of your life. When do you get to focus on you? When do you get to focus on your dreams? When do you get to focus on your visions? Do not allow one piece of rotted fruit to ruin the entire bunch. Either don't get it or take it out. There are choices in life. Two, you either will or you won't. You either gonna do it or you're not. There is not other choices. People are like, oh, I'm gonna try. Trying is a nice way to say, no, I'm not doing it. Because people who say they're gonna try, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing different than what they've been doing. Nothing. So if you have triers in your circle, please understand and please believe that you need to cut. I'm one of those type of people where you got to prove it. Don't prove it to me, prove it to yourself. Because if you prove it to yourself, I can see the works you're doing. I'm not worthy of you to prove anything to. Who am I? Who am I? I don't want you to prove nothing to me. What I would like is for you to set goals for yourself. Separate yourself. Isolate yourself. Get to a point in your life where you are okay with being alone. Deal with the things that you need to deal with. If you are rotting, cut it off. You have to understand that even some bad fruit, you can cut it off before it kills the whole piece of fruit. Some you can catch early. It's going rot early. You can cut that little piece off. But guess what? The rest of the fruit is still good. I don't recommend that in real life. But that is actually a truth. You wouldn't believe how many people I see do that. They cut off the rotting pieces and they continue to eat the pieces that are good. That's life. That's everyday life. That's everyday life. You gotta sit back sometimes. You gotta reevaluate the situation of who you are. And you gotta choose which parts of you are rotting and which parts of you are healthy. The parts of you are healthy may be smaller at the time, but if you cut off that rotting part and feed that healthy part, I promise you, you'll be successful. You'll be productive. You'll be progressive. You'll be creative. You'll be a dreamer. You'll be an inspirer. You'll be somebody you look up to. But it takes you. It takes you. What are you doing? What are you eating? If you continue to hang around people who feed you negativity, you're going to rot. And if you're rotting, guess what you're spilling over to the other people in your life? Rot. You might as well walk around in life and tell everybody to rot. Go ahead and rot. I don't care. I help you rot. Who does that? People who hang around people who have negative minds. Cut the umbilical cord on situations you don't belong in. Cut the umbilical cord on situations you know do not benefit you. And when I say benefit you, make sure that that benefit goes both ways. You have to benefit the next as well. If you're going to ask for something to benefit you, you got to make sure, you have to make sure that you're benefiting them as well. But a benefit is always different. You can't have your hand out for something. You asking me to support you, I do it in the way that I support, and you tell me I ain't never been there because I didn't support you the way you wanted me to. You asked me to do it. I'm not you. I'm not going to support you the way you want me to do it. But then as soon as I pull out of other things that I've been doing, you stop talking to me. That is rotted fruit. So if you cut away the benefit that you give to people, you'll see who really rock with you. Stop eating this rotted fruit. It ain't good for you. You wonder why you keep throwing up. You wonder why you can't get in a position where you try. I've been working so hard all these years. Do you realize that sometimes the people around you affect the things that you do and don't get? Do you realize that what you keep around you affects how you think about the things that you do and don't want? You gotta be able to step away from the pieces of the fruit that's rotting, and you gotta be able to eat the healthy sides of it. Take a moment in your life and literally sit back and go, this person, this, pros and cons list. If the pro list outweigh the con list, then keep it. But be real. Don't just make up a way to keep people in your life because you want them there. Some people literally need to be cut off. But here's the beauty of all of it. You cutting them off could spiral them into a good direction. It could put them in a place to where they need that growing space. They need that growing space, and then once they get that growing space, you never know what the future holds. You could definitely come back together at some point, both healthy, both healed. So the rainbow we chased today is called rotted fruit. Be mindful of the people that you keep in your life, because just as influential as you are on them, they are on you. You cannot stop rotting fruit from spreading to the other fruits that are there. Eat of the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. God gives you fruit as well. Galatians 5:22. Yep. Galatians 5:22. Eat off of those fruits. And I promise you, when you start purposely eating off of fruit that has purpose attached to it, those people will probably fall off. You ain't even got to make a big deal about it because they'll fall off. So this is what you do. You live according to what God gave you. God gave everybody a purpose. God gave everybody a gift or multiple. Or multiple. The reason you can't find it because you ain't ready for it. Some of the first things that you got to do is you got to cut the umbilical cord of things that are no longer living. Things that are no longer of the vision that you have. Things that are no longer of the purpose that you see. Things that are no longer edifying to the gift. Things that are no longer edifying to God. You got to cut off all of these things. You have to take that rotten and you have to let it go. But if you're rot, you don't even know what rot looks like because you're used to being rotten. You're used to it. So what I would say is feed your mind of things that are positive, no matter what state you in. State of mind, not living state. You got to be able to pull those things together, and you got to be able to understand that everything that you do is for purpose. Are you that rotting fruit? Are you the fruit that is pouring cancer onto other people? Are you that fruit that's pouring sicknesses onto other people? Are you that fruit that is constantly causing chaos in other people's life? If so, don't worry about it. We can clip. It's like pruning a tree. If you cut off these little bottom pieces right here, the tree will grow up. You have to cut off the pieces that you need to prune so that growth can happen. Are you really ready to grow? Are you really ready to separate yourself from the rotten fruit? If you separate yourself from the rotting fruit, guess what happens? You have to put yourself in a place of isolation so that you can mentally grow, so that you can spiritually grow, emotionally, physically, all of it. But you can't grow if you don't put yourself in that position. So, don't put the rotten fruit in your bowl. Throw it away. Cut it off. Good morning. Y'all have a good day.